The Whisper in the Leaves, a Leafling family story, far beyond what human eyes can usually see. Hidden deep within the folds of Raindrop Hollow live the Leaflings, tiny guardians of green things, born from the oldest roots of the great trees. If you wake just before the world stirs, you might catch a glimpse of something extraordinary. This is where the Leaflings first emerge, not with fanfare, not with footsteps, but with the hush of promise and the breath of green light. They come when the roots hum softly and the trees lean in, as if to whisper. And though you may not see them, the forest does, and so does your heart, if you're very still. When a houseplant grows lonely, when it misses the feeling of sunlight on its leaves or the hum of friendly voices, a whisper travels through the roots of the world, all the way to Raindrop Hollow. Sometimes, just as the dew begins to warm, a light begins to swirl in the heart of the glen. It isn't fire, it isn't wind, it's something older, a whisper of magic that opens the way, drawn through spiralite and root path, and when the swirl fades, they are already where they are needed most. In a quiet corner of a quiet room, a once bright plant began to fade. Its leaves, once reaching for the light, now drooped low in silence, and in the way that only green things know how, it whispered its sadness into the soil, and the Leaflings, they heard. And that is how 3 Leaflings, Tuff, Wren, and Ash, found themselves nestled in the broad, bright leaves of a quiet plant in need of help. Tuff, brave and bold beneath his mushroom cap, was the first to pop his head out. He also always loved a good adventure, especially if it involved mischief and moss. He scanned the plant with bright eyes, his tiny feet already rustling the soil below. "We've got work to do," he grinned, patting the pot as if it were an old friend. "This one's been lonely long enough." Wren, the youngest, listened closely. She said she could feel the plant sigh, soft and low. So she wrapped her leafy arms around its stem and whispered back, "You're not alone anymore." She didn't say much at first. She just reached out and rested her hand on a drooping stem. "You're still trying," she whispered softly. "I can feel it." And in that moment, the plant seemed to sigh. Just a little less. Ash emerged slowly, his leafy sprigs swaying as he moved with quiet purpose. He didn't rush. Ash never did. He knelt at the edge of the soil, running one hand through it like a healer checking a pulse. "Tired," he murmured, almost to himself. But not gone. From a tiny pouch woven of moss, he pulled a single seed and pressed it into the dirt. "Let's remind you what it means to grow." By the end of the day, something had changed. The bird's nest. Fern stood taller. Yes, but not just from sunlight or water. A quiet magic shimmered through its leaves, the kind that only arrives when Leaflings visit. The soil hummed gently. The tips of the leaves glistened with dew that hadn't been there before. A breeze stirred, though no window was open, and deep within the green, a heart that had once felt alone, now beat with warmth. The plant stood a little taller that evening, not because of sunlight, but because someone had come and it felt less alone. The Leaflings had done what they came to do, and just as quietly as they arrived, they were gone. The end. For now. But keep your eyes open, for you never know when the Leaflings might visit your plants.
In Raindrop Hollow, there's always another story waiting, just beyond the next bend. Subscribe so you don't miss a story. If you'd like to bring a piece of the Hollow into your own home, visit our Etsy shop sjbprints.ca.etsy.com. We hope to see you soon in Raindrop Hollow.